You're nothing but trailer trash in a uniform. Those words exploded out of Brenda Calloway's mouth while her crew smashed my cabin window with a crowbar, sunlight glinting off the glass like a warning. She just stood there grinning as if the whole neighborhood, her lawyers, her money, her HOA cronies had already crowned her queen. And me, I stood there, phone in hand, recording every second, not blinking, not budging, just documenting the carnage with the same stubbornness that got me through 20 years in the Navy. Because if there's one thing you learn in the service, it's that documentation always beats destruction every time. Let me back up a sec so you know how I landed in this mess. 3 years ago, I woke up to the same smell of pine and coffee day after day out here on the patch of land my dad left me, 2.4 acres of forgotten, overgrown, honest earth that nobody cared about but me. After Beth died, after a kid blew through a red light and turned our apartment into a mausoleum for dreams that never got built, I packed my tools and disappeared out here. Every nail I drove into these walls was a heartbeat, something solid in a world full of holes. Out here, I could remember how to keep going. That old Navy habit. Keep records, stay calm, trust your training followed me everywhere. I had blueprints, permits, septic system sign-offs, everything filed, copied, triplicated, even my dad's faded survey maps. You never know when you'll need proof the world can't argue with. That's how I thought anyway, until Brenda decided her HOA rules were worth more than my deeds, my sweat, or even the law itself. First, she sent letters official-looking, full of legalese and bluster, slapping a 30-day eviction notice on my door like her HOA ran the whole county. I didn't blink. I had the paperwork, the boundaries, the receipts. So did the county clerk. The truth was on my side, but Brenda didn't care about truth. She cared about control. I'd wake up with the lake mist rolling across the water, the porch still damp, thinking maybe today would be the day Brenda let it go. She didn't. Instead, she escalated. Security cameras went up on the road. Her friend Curtis, who later became my friend, had a little red blinking light pointing straight at my property line. I took a picture of it, tucked it away with all the rest. Evidence. Then 3 days before her fake eviction deadline, engines roared me awake at 6:15 a.m. Day 27. 2 pickups, 1 excavator, and 4 guys carrying crowbars and sledgehammers rumbled up my drive, diesel smoke thick in the air. One of them, big 40-something, wore a shirt that said Calloway Construction. Brenda's husband's company, of course. They didn't wait for an answer. They meant business. I didn't panic. Panic gets you killed. Instead, I hit record on my phone, time-stamped GPS, locked and stepped onto the porch, my hands steady, my jaw set. The foreman, Travis, came up and shoved some paper at me. "Work order to remove an unpermitted structure," he said, all puffed up. I read it for the camera. Executive action signed by Brenda herself. It wasn't worth the paper it was printed on. I told them they were trespassing, called 911 right in front of them, gave my coordinates, my name, every detail. The dispatcher said cops would be there in 12 minutes. Travis called Brenda, said, "Yeah, he called the cops," then shrugged. "Boss says we proceed anyway." That's when I started a live stream. If they were going to break my cabin, they were going to do it for the whole world to see. They tried to scare me. Travis shoved me on camera clear as day while one of the crew went around and smashed my window. That sound, let me tell you, it's like something inside you breaking. But I didn't flinch, didn't fight. Evidence, not anger, is what keeps you standing when the world tilts sideways. Sirens. A sheriff's cruiser slid up the drive lights, flashing. Officer Pierce, veteran by the look of him, took it all in, cool and steady. Travis started running his mouth about illegal squatters, but Pierce wasn't buying it. I handed him everything: permits, survey, the video of Travis pushing me. He radioed the county, checked my records, and then told Travis and his crew to clear out or get arrested. They left, but not before blocking my drive with the excavator petty to the end. Brenda called me an hour later. "You really think the police will protect you? Next time I won't give you advance notice." Then she hung up. That's when I realized this wasn't about rules or aesthetics. It was about power. And she'd just declared war on the wrong veteran. The next morning, my phone blew up, dozens of missed calls, hundreds of notifications. Brenda had posted my picture in the HOA Facebook group, called me a predator, accused me of threatening workers and stalking kids at the bus stop. The comment section was a bonfire, folks calling for my arrest, saying I didn't belong. Lies travel fast, especially when you post first. The real gut punch. Seeing neighbors cross the street to avoid me, the hardware store lady glaring like I'd grown horns. Even the lawyer letters started rolling in cease and desist threats of restraining orders, demands to demolish my cabin, all based on Travis and his crew's made-up statements. Nobody mentioned my video. Nobody mentioned the truth. Beth's voice came back to me soft and steady, the way she used to say, "You don't have to carry everything alone. Ask for help." So I did. Dug out a card from a veterans legal aid group, Rachel Brennan, former JAG officer. I sent her everything, the video, the timeline, the permits, the incident report from Officer Pierce. I wrote, "I don't want revenge. I just want my peace back. Can you help?" She called at 6 the next morning. "I watched your video. I'm taking your case pro bono because bullies like Brenda have to be stopped." We met the next day. Her office was small, but her presence was huge. She built a case file thicker than my Navy manuals: trespass, defamation, abuse of process, emotional distress. She pulled county records, boundary maps, even brought in a forensics guy to trace Brenda's fake social media accounts right back to her own Wi-Fi. The big twist. When we dug through the HOA's bylaws and meeting minutes, we found they'd tried to expand their boundary to swallow my land, but only got 42% of the vote. They needed 75%. Legally, the amendment was worthless. They'd known it the whole time. Malice, plain and simple. Curtis, my neighbor, turned out to be the wild card. At first he was scared, but when Rachel explained he'd be subpoenaed anyway, he handed over his security camera footage. There was Brenda's car parked outside my property at 5:45 a.m., watching the whole thing go down before the crew arrived. No way she could claim ignorance now. Officer Pierce agreed to testify too, even connected us with another family Brenda had run out of town the year before. Pattern evidence. This wasn't just a one-off, it was a campaign of intimidation. When we filed the lawsuit, 35 pages thick, Brenda lost it at the next HOA meeting, screaming at the board, calling them cowards. That's when Preston, a board member, slipped Rachel 2 years of emails Brenda directing her husband's company to target homeowners, admitting she knew my property was outside their authority, bragging about making an example of me. Rachel reached out to Channel 7. Their reporter, Jillian Monroe, ran the story prime time. She aired the video, the survey maps, the metadata, Brenda's own words. By the end of the night, the tide turned, apologies rolled in. The board fractured, neighbors quit backing Brenda. The DA opened a criminal investigation. Brenda's empire was crumbling in real time. The courtroom showdown was a masterclass. Rachel shredded Brenda's lawyer with exhibits, maps, bylaws, the live video, fake social posts traced to Brenda internal emails. Brenda took the stand, tried to play the hero, but Rachel pinned her down. "Did you write that you'd pressure me with legal fees until I gave up?" Brenda stammered, tried to deny it, but the evidence was right there. When she finally cracked and blurted out that I wasn't our kind of person, you could feel the air change. The judge, a sharp, no-nonsense woman, saw right through her. Motion to dismiss denied case proceeds, and the settlement talks began. Brenda tried to hold out. But when her husband Vernon stood up at a board meeting and told her it was over, that the legal bills had destroyed them, she finally lost her last supporter. The board caved, signed every term, $250,000 in damages. Brenda banned from any HOA board in California, public apology, full audit, and bylaw reforms to keep this from ever happening again. When Brenda showed up on my porch to hand me the signed papers, she couldn't look me in the eye. "I never wanted to destroy you," I told her. "I just wanted peace." She drove away small and silent, and for the first time in years I felt something settle inside me. Justice isn't loud. It's the quiet, After the storm, the sound of wind in the pines, the feeling of a community coming back together. Pine Ridge changed after that. Real audits, real reforms, the bullies gone, neighbors pitching in on weekends to help me rebuild the porch, the workshop, the garden. Beth always dreamed about. I put part of the settlement into a legal aid fund for veterans. Rachel and I watched the place turn into a sanctuary not just for me, but for anyone who needed a safe place to land. So let me ask you, how far would you go to protect what's yours when the system turns against you? Do you think justice still works if you're stubborn enough to see it through? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you got a story of your own, I want to hear it. Because sometimes the only thing that beats a bully is a community that refuses to back down. If you found something true in this story, share it with someone who believes in second chances and standing up for what's right. And thanks for sticking around till the end. I hope you find your own peace wherever you are.